We open on the aftermath of last season's explosion. Jace and Mel survive the blast through the power of plot armor, but unfortunately the same cannot be said for their co-workers. Dead 1, dead 2, shit, did he just lose his legs? Jace converts the chem lab into a makeshift hospital and performs a emergency medical procedure on a heavily compromised Victor. The Hex Core is like, allow me to show off my skills, and treats us to a familiar catchy opening from League's go-to band. Next up, we have a black and white funeral. A colourful Kate watches her mum being buried while thinking, bloody screw my life. Mel offers some words of wisdom, but Sallow, the now legless counsellor, is like, bloody screw the Undercity, off with their heads. Kate and Mel counter the extremist approach and compromise with a mission titled Exterminate Jinx. Vi pays Kate a visit to offer her condolences. They have a loving embrace which lasts all of 5 seconds before tensions flare. Damn it, we'll get to third base one day. Vi gets an offer to join the local authorities, but she's like, yeah, nah, screw that, and does a walkout. She drowns her sorrows in classic fashion and meets a fellow alcoholic to keep her company. Jace tells Mel how bullshit it is that his plot armor was stronger than Victor's during the explosion. Don't worry about it, he'll come around. Now how about you go and offer your sympathies to your adopted sister? Oh yeah, good point, thinks Jace, and visits Kate in the garden. They talk about their feelings and how Hextech shouldn't be a solution to all their problems. Meanwhile, Vi is having a mint old time getting absolutely sloshed with her new drink mate. This enforcer chick interrupts the party and is like, joining the authorities isn't so bad, not to mention your not girlfriend made quite the scene to get you enlisted. Vi thinks about her options over another pint. Mel gives a speech about the recent terror attack. It's interrupted by another one, however, as Mel gets hammered and Jace almost gets mauled by a chainsaw. Crikey, these two cannot catch a break, can they? It's all good though, as Vi and Jace launch a speedy counterattack and the cavalry arrive in the form of Ambessa's army. The episode ends with everybody prepping for war with their fancy state-of-the-art Hextech equipment and Vi rocking her brand new Enforcer outfit. Heck yeah! Episode 2 opens with Jinx giving her adopted dad an underwater funeral. She gives him a loving embrace while thinking about the time she pumped him full of lead, and then takes a trip down memory lane in an emo-ish fashion. Some thugs chase this kid into her line of sight. She makes quick work of them and says, "What are your thoughts on adoption?" Savika attempts to rally the underground crime bosses, but just doesn't have her ex-boss's charisma to pull it off. She bonds with Jinx over how everything would be better if Silco was still amongst the living. Victor 2.0 wakes up after a full recovery from his Hextech healing station. Jace attempts to restart team chemistry with him, but a depressed Victor is like, yeah, nah, team chemistry is dead, you should have let me die along with it. He then does a walkout in search of enlightenment. Meanwhile, Echo, being the toppest of blokes, gives rent-free accommodation to the homeless. He finds out that their source of oxygen has been poisoned and teams up with Heimerdinger in order to find a cure. The dynamic duo bump into Jace and form a new group after realizing that it might have something to do with a newly revived Victor. Jinx builds Savika a fancy new arm by repurposing scraps from Vi's old punching machine. She gift wraps the package but is ambushed by one of the crime bosses before she could make the delivery. No worries though, as Savika intercepts at the halfway point and uses the arm to deal some serious critical damage. The two of them join forces and send the twerp packing. Victor begins his search for enlightenment at the Undercity. He's about to be mugged by some thugs, but Victor is like, no worries, let me show off my skills. The episode ends with Victor finding enlightenment along with a new cult of followers. The Act 1 finale opens with Kate taking a radicalist approach to war by using the Undercity's ventilation system in order to poison the air. Crikey, we're off to a banger start already. Team Exterminate Jinx interrogate this chap for her coordinates, and Vi wonders how much her soon-to-be GF has been radicalized. Mel's mum Ambessa has tea with an old lady who turns out to have a grudge with a particular set of skills. They aren't enough, however, as Ambessa pulls an Uno Reverso and stabs her with a very pointy blade. Vi checks in with Kate to see if she's still all there in the head and hasn't been fully radicalized. No worries, I'm still me, she replies, and the two of them have a long overdue makeout session. Ambessa and Mel try to one-up each other on who can be the better politician. Meanwhile, Team Chemistry 2.0 discuss the trials and tribulations of Hextech and how it might be polluting their city. They go directly to the underground power source to investigate. Back to ongoing family issues, Vi and Jinx finally have their long overdue battle. Punch, punch, grrr, yeah! The intensity of the battle causes a rift in the bloody Hextech space-time continuum, which unfortunately doesn't sit too well with Team Chemistry. Crikey, I really hope they're okay. The family feud ends with Vi emerging victorious, but unfortunately Jinx gets away thanks to the aid of Savika and Jinx's new adopted daughter. Kate gives Vi a spray for allowing them to get away, and Vi is like, yeah, nah, you've totally been radicalized. She has herself a little cry. Act 1 ends with Ambessa giving a speech to radicalize Piltover against the Undercity and appoints a recently radicalized Kate as their new figurehead. Crikey, she turned out to be a very crafty politician. Act 2 opens on a black and white music video depicting how Jinx got her own fan club in the Undercity. Kate has found herself a mediocre replacement after her breakup with Vi and is having second thoughts about her radicalistic approach to war. Maddie attempts to show off her seductive skills, but Kate is like, yeah, nah, I'm not feeling it. Come back when you have pink hair. A retired Jinx is playing miniature pocket monsters with her mute adopted daughter. Isha is like, I could totally rock the blue. Not very likely, replies Jinx, but dyes her hair anyway in typical Jinx fashion. Ambessa gives Kate a spray for not being quite the radicalistic leader she'd envisioned. Kate is like, sorry to disappoint, but I'm the one in charge, so we're doing this my way. Bloody good on her, I reckon. Meanwhile, Savika grills Jinx for not doing anything to help the Undercity's rebellion. She's like, retirement doesn't suit you, bloody get out there and start causing some explosions. Jinx discusses her options with Silco's chair. Savika gives a speech and rallies the Undercity rebels with some help from Isha. Unfortunately, they're ambushed by Ambassador's army and taken into custody. Victor's ex-employer is like, bloody screw you guys, and uses his blood to activate a secret weapon. Crikey, that doesn't look good. Jinx decides that it's finally time to come out of retirement after finding out that the enforcers have arrested her adopted daughter. She teams up with a one-armed Savika in order to cause a prison break. Yeah, Team Jinx 2.0 for the win. Everything goes according to plan until the secret weapon monster goes on a killing spree. Shit, that's not good. Jinx takes it on head on and gets creamed. I mean, what did she expect? Just look at the size of it. But hang on a minute, why does the monster look so familiar? Why isn't it delivering the final blow? What the heck is... Oh... Next episode, now, please. Episode 5 opens with an emo Vi testing her punching skills in the boxing ring while hallucinating about her ex-girlfriend. Jinx is like, take it from me, that's never a good sign. BTW, did you know that our dad is back from the dead? Vi weaponizes some of her pent-up emotions, but yeah, nah, I reckon they'll be able to work it out after a pint or 3 at the pub. Kate performs a top-notch Batman-esque investigation after the gory events of the last episode. She interrogates the old alchemist about Beast Mode Vanda and where she might go about looking for his coordinates. The alchemist is like, yeah, nah, do your worst, with a look that suggests otherwise. Meanwhile, Mel is trapped within the Hextech space-time continuum. She's subjected to some visual trauma that will no doubt require help of therapeutic nature and ends up reuniting with her long-lost brother. Wow, that is not where I thought this was going. Vi, Jinx and Isha form a temporary truce while they go looking for Beast Mode Vanda.
12 seconds later.
Bloody screw you, bitch. Nah you. Yeah, I reckon they'll be needing some intense family therapy once this is over. Back to the unplanned reunion, Mel finds out that her brother is a fake and gets subjected to more epileptic trauma as a result. Crikey, if she doesn't make it out in one piece after all that, then I'm going to be pissed. Team Rescue Vanda finally find Berserker Vanda. They have themselves a good old brawl until Vanda.exe suddenly starts responding and gives his dysfunctional family a loving embrace. Yes! And I swear to God, if anything happens to this family, I'm going to go to Netflix HQ and... Sorry about that. Moving on, Jace returns from the Hextech space-time continuum with a beard that has aged by the span of 2 to 3 weeks. He meets a fully mobile Salo, who's since become a member of Victor's new cult. The episode ends with Jace bloody carving his head in after a disagreement on the principles of Hextech. Shit. The Act 2 finale opens with an enlightened, omnipresent Victor discussing Salo's death with his dead assistant. He's like, yeah, nah, Jace has totally lost it, without realizing that the two of them are probably in the same wavelength. Kate is at Kendo training camp with Ambessa. They have a friendly sparring match which ends with Kate getting schooled and Ambessa giving some questionable advice on the art of war. Team Rescue Vanda escort Beast Vanda to Victor's new cult. They're like, could you please get Victor to use his Jesus powers on our dad to turn him back to normal? Sure, no worries, replies the entry guard. Just leave any firearms at the gate. Jinx isn't a fan of the idea, but Vi is like, it's all good. We have Beast Mode Vanda in case things get dicey. No worries though, as Jesus Victor turns out to be the toppest of blokes and provides free healthcare plus B&B till he finds a cure. Vi and Jinx use the opportunity to work on their complicated family issues. Ambassador and Kate rock up to Victor's paradise with their armies. The entry guard is like, hand over your weapons, but Ambassador pulls a Jinx and is like, yeah, nah, that ain't happening. Before things can get too dicey, however, Victor's ex-employer slash alchemist is like, the leader of the opposition may be an ex-student of mine. How about you send me in to parley? Ambassador okays the request while also prepping for war. The alchemist checks in with Victor and is like, how about you hand over beast mode Vanda to the authorities? In all fairness, he did kind of go on a killing spree the other day. No can do, unfortunately, as this patient is under my exclusive care. Vi reunites with Kate in typical archaic fashion. They pretend really hard like they're not happy to see each other, but yeah, nah, I'd give it 5 minutes before they're back in one another's loving embrace. They come up with a foolproof plan to outmaneuver Ambessa by pretending to arrest Vi. Ambessa is like, bloody should have seen this coming, as she loses consciousness. Her bodyguard attempts to skewer Jinx, but Vanda goes full Warwick beast mode and throws him out a window. Warwick Vanda for the win. Meanwhile, Jace has seen better days. He stumbles his way around Victor's paradise while having PTSD flashbacks of his days in the Hextech space-time continuum. He bumps into meditating Jesus Victor and puts a permanent end to OG team chemistry by bloody impaling him through the chest. Shit. The episode ends with all hell breaking loose as Victor's followers drop dead and Warwick Vanda goes berserker mode against Ambessa's army. The final act of Arcane opens in a parallel universe where Jinx.exe has reverted into powder and everyone we know and love is still alive. We're off to a stellar start already. Visible confusion on a dimension hopping Echo as he tours a much brighter looking Undercity and thinks about how bloody depressing it is back home. He bumps into Heimerdinger who's like, yeah, nah, you'd better get used to it here. Multiverse is a bitch. Jace, meanwhile, drew the short end of the straw by getting himself stranded in the dystopian foggy future. He sees a cryptic savior from his childhood and follows suit at maximum speed. Echo decides that he's had enough of the sunshine, puppy dog and rainbow filled universe and enlists the aid of Heimerdinger to bring them back to their own timeline. He also gets Powder on board by showing off his cool artistic skills, and just like that, Team Chemistry 3.0 is a go. They get to work right away and end up with a semi-working time machine. Heimerdinger is like, no worries, allow me to show off my engineering degree. Unfortunately, Jace is still roughing it up in the wilderness while reflecting on his life choices. He has a questionable feed and continues searching for his childhood hero. Echo says goodbye to his still alive dad, fully human Vanda and reformed Silco, then goes out on a romantic getaway with his could-be girlfriend. Crikey, I am mightily impressed that he can still be homesick right about now. They have themselves a passionate, long overdue embrace that immediately cuts to the post-apocalyptic adventures of Jace Tallis. Wow, I did not expect that transition. The episode ends with Jace finally meeting his cryptic idol as Team Chemistry fire up the portal to teleport Echo back home. The next episode opens with Mel continuing to be traumatized in the Hextech space-time continuum. She's like, bloody enough is enough, and breaks out of the chains in a Dragon Ball Z-esque sequence. This chick is like, you're a wizard, Mel, and just like that, Mel the Mage 2.0 is a go. Yes, I am so glad all that trauma wasn't for nothing. The shadow chick is like, how would you like to use your fancy new powers to kill your megalomaniac of a mum? Mel considers her options. Speak of the devil, Ambessa gives her bodyguard a mint funeral. She teams up with our still alive Jesus Victor in order to mount an assault in Piltover. Vi has a flashback dream about the ending of the last act. She then gives Kate a spray for throwing Jinx in a dungeon and does a walkout. Kate reconsiders her decision and attempts to commune with her depressed Jinx, but yeah, nah, she's even more far gone than usual. Jace and Mel discuss their adventures in the Hextech space-time continuum, but are interrupted by one of Jesus Victor's upgraded followers. Victor tries to recruit them to his cult, but they're like, we're not bloody into religion, and tag team the follower into oblivion. Yeah! Vi attempts to reconcile with a depressed Jinx. Jinx is like, yeah, nah, I'm beyond help, locks Vi in her own cell, and does a walkout to prove the point. Shit. Jace gives a speech to all the important people of Piltover and the Undercity. Let's all rally together and give Jesus Victor and Ambessa a piece of our minds, he says, to moderate levels of success. Kate consoles a depressed Vi in the dungeon. They talk about their feelings and have themselves a route to end all routes. Yeah, bloody good on them. Mel visits her mum in an attempt to call off the upcoming war. Ambessa is like, yeah, nah, we're long past the point of no return, bloody off with their heads. The episode ends with Jesus Victor saying goodbye to his dead assistant as he completes his transformation into what shall henceforth be known as Darth Victor 2.0. The Arcane finale opens with a suicidal Jinx giving Silco's favorite chair a funeral. She's about to join him in classic Jinx fashion, but no worries as Echo comes in clutch with his fancy new time machine. Next up, we have an all-out war between the Piltover All-Stars and Noxian Alliance. Psh, psh, punch, punch. Oh shit, not Loris. Team Piltover finally make a breakthrough with some tactical smoke grenades, but it unfortunately doesn't pan out as planned thanks to a betrayal by Kate's ex-girlfriend. Bloody should have seen this coming, she thinks, but no worries as Magic Mel, Jinx and the Undercity Cavalry arrive in the nick of time. Yeah! More of this, please. Unfortunately, Darth Victor unleashes his own followers plus a brainwashed Warwick to turn the tides. Damn it, just when I thought things were looking up. The family reunion falls apart while Mel and Kate team up against the wrathful Ambessa. They manage to outmaneuver the warlord and Mel is like, I'm bloody sick of your shit, mum, and sends her to the Shadow Realm. One down, one to go. Darth Victor has another go at converting Jace into his religion. Jace isn't interested, however, so he's like, bloody screw it, and uses the Force to compel everybody into becoming his followers. Shit. But no worries, as Echo weaponizes the power of time and smashes it right into Victor's forehead. Jace seizes the moment and brings Victor back down to reality by addressing his half-baked plan and how everybody following the same religion might have unreversible consequences in the not-too-distant future. Victor is like, crikey, that is one sorry looking future, and the two of them use their combined omnipresent skills to convert almost everybody back to normal. Warwick still hasn't had enough, however, and goes on another rampage. Jinx is like, it's my time to shine, and causes her final self-sacrificial explosion while dual leaping with Warwick off the face of the planet. Vi is understandably depressed, but yeah, nah, I reckon she'll be okay after some therapy. The Arcane finale ends with the cast of surviving characters giving the dead a mint paperback only funeral, and Vio Kate being the only couple to get there happily ever after. Not ideal, but at this point I'll take what I can get.